welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and other kin to Mistress Winter's court. I am your humble producer and hostess, Mistress Winter. You can find me at gmistresswinter on Twitter and Instagram. I am so excited to introduce this show. This is being run by my great dear friend, Abby Marie Carter, who we will introduce very shortly. And I'm going to embarrass her a little bit and say it is her first time ever running a game, and I am so proud of her. This is going to be amazing. So hands together for that. If you are not familiar with Monsterhearts 2, a couple of little disclaimers. First, this game is typically about teenagers who are also monsters, dealing with their changing bodies as well as their monstrous natures. In this particular story, they're a little bit older, but I will leave that to Abby to discuss. But the nature of sex and sexuality will be on the table for discussion during the show. Further, as far as content is concerned, the sky is pretty much the limit, with some notable exceptions. If there is any content, or if the story goes in a certain way or introduces any content that makes you, our viewers, uncomfortable at any time, please, it will not break our hearts if you have to step away from the stream. Give it about 10-15 minutes, and then you can come back. I'm sure that content has passed. And if you want to drop us a note, also let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, including any troublesome content. We can see what we can do about curbing that in future episodes. But without further ado, I am going to turn it over to our wonderful Mistress of Ceremonies, Abby Marie Carter.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abby Marie Carter, and I will be your Mistress of Ceremonies, or MC for short. Some of you watching may recognize me. I'm over on the Facet every Monday, and I have shown up on other places on Mistress Winter's Court during Tabletop Tuesdays. I have never, as Winter mentioned, I have never run a game before, so I'm very excited to get into this. I have very wonderful players, and I really thank all of you who are watching for sticking through this and being here for our premiere. I would like to note that I'm recovering from a cold, so I'm still a little bit sick. My voice is not 100%, so I do apologize for that. But other than that, I'm ready to be here and be the MC. If you want to contact me, you can find me on Instagram at Abby_Marie_Carter. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce my players. Let's start with Alex.
Hi everybody, I'm Alexander Colm. This is my very first Monsterhearts game, so add it to the list of firsts for this evening, and yeah, I am excited to start.
We are excited to have you. Emma, why don't you go next?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everybody. My name is Emma. I am a TTRPG content creator and aspiring voice actress. I've done a couple things here on Mistress Winter's Court before, namely the Tabletop Tuesday 2-shot for Monsterhearts 2, and I'm super excited to be back with Abby and some of my other wonderful cast members from that little 2-shot there. You can find me outside of here, DMing Chronicles of Kreath or running Tabletop Tailspinners Network.
Real quick, I should have mentioned, and that's on me. I'll go back to Alex for this. Will you please introduce your characters who you will be playing tonight?
Gotcha.
Sorry about that.
My character's name is Damon Fullerton. Damon Fullerton is a ghost. And I don't want to give anything else away.
Sounds good. Emma?
Yes, and my character tonight is Mika Sherman. She is the Infernal.
Very exciting. Okay. Juicy, would you go next? Introduce
Yes.
yourself and your character.
Hi, yes, I'm Juicy Garland, a Boston area drag queen who is in boy mode for this game because I am playing Bobby Gunderson from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Yeah, I am super excited for this game. I also played in the one shot here on Mr. Winter's Court of Monsterhearts recently, playing a vampire, and instead I am playing a werewolf this time.
Exciting. We are so happy to have you. And Stoffer, last but not least, Stoffer.
My name is Christopher. I usually go by Stouffer. I am just a big TTRPG nerd. Learning Monster Hearts with most of this crew as on the two shot we did, and then I'm mostly experienced with D&D and those variants, but I just love role playing and being in the character. So, gotta have more of it. It for me. I don't have places to find. I don't like being located.
And would you please introduce your character for tonight as well?
I am playing Amity, a Fae.
All right. Thank you so much. And without further ado, let's get into the game. So, our camera fades in on a lush forest. It pans over the sprawling lands covered in trees with leaves of beautiful oranges, deep reds, and bright yellows with smatterings of green. It is clearly fall. We are taken over the treetops over a quaint town. It looks like any other small town. People are walking around, plenty of buildings, clearly some places that are frequented by locals. Most people are bundled up in sweaters, trying to stave off that mid-October chill. As the camera goes across the town, a large looming structure appears in our view. Many other buildings pop up around it, all in the same looming Gothic manner. Each building is made of dark brick and mostly can be characterized by their high architecture builds, lots of arches, asymmetry. It really gives off a dark and brooding feel. This is Ravenwood University. We are taken into one of the buildings, and the camera stops on two young adults in the hallway, a young woman and a man, talking, laughing as they walk together down the hall. They approach a door, and the young woman steps forward to unlock it. The camera pushes in, focusing on her hands unlocking the door. It takes a second, the key needing just a little bit of finagling before the sound of a click is heard and the door is pushed open. We pan back out, but still only see the young woman in front of us as she steps into her dorm room. The flash of a shadow is seen in the corner of the frame. The young woman turns her head and the camera follows her gaze. No one is behind her. Carter, the young woman calls out as she looks out into the hallway, but still sees nothing. The young man is gone. She is left standing in the doorway, a look of confusion on her face as the camera fades to black. We fade back in on an empty classroom. Students, welcome to Ravenwood University, a university nestled in Muddlebury, Vermont, deep in October, about mid-October. It's chilly out, it's clearly fall, the leaves in the forest surrounding the campus and the town are just beautiful, really all those beautiful fall colors. Ravenwood University, as all of our students know, is a very unique place. It is a university for monsters, supernaturals, preternaturals, otherworldly beings. It is a place where they can go and get degrees and go out to live in the human realm if they want, or just get a taste of getting to be in the human realm. We go into an empty classroom. It's early in the morning, around 9, and students can be heard outside in the hallway as they hurry to their early morning classes. A student steps into our empty classroom. Who arrives first?
I think Amity would be excited to get there. We'll arrive pretty early.
Amity, you step into the classroom. You are the first one there. Not even the professor is there yet. you're very familiar with this classroom. It's the middle of the semester, so you've been here before. You go ahead and take your seat. Does anyone walk in with you?
No. I would like to try and hide a whoopee cushion on a random chair, though.
Okay. Do you have any? Since you are the only one in the classroom, I'm not gonna make you roll for it.
The hiding will be not very obvious, or not very well done anyway.
Gotcha. Is there a particular person
Nope.
that you're? Nope, just anyone.
Could we do like? Let me do. How many tables do we got here, or chairs rather?
There's about
25.
25 students in the class.
Okay. She will close her eyes and like spin around. And can I just roll like a D100?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, I got. So my thought process was that she would leave herself in. So 25 is 4, so 98 would be Thalia.
Okay.
Got it.
So you, nice. So you put a whoopee cushion on Talia Warren's seat. She sits in the very back of the classroom in the right-hand corner. She is a Lamia, which is a snake person. So that is who you have subjected to your whoopee cushion. The professor is not even in the room yet. Amity, you would be quite familiar with the professor at this point. She's also a fellow Fae. Yes, okay. Some other students start to walk in, students that you know well, or they're just in the class with you. But
You want me
who
to do a
enters
description?
next? Oh, yeah, a description would be great, actually.
Amity is fairly short, very thin, like inhumanly thin. Disheveled hair. She is an androgynous creature with dark black hair and pale skin. Their eyes have no sclera, the white parts, only irises. The purple of her irises swirl slowly around in like different hues, and she has, similar to cat eyes, they're vertical, but they're not nearly as tall as like a cat eyes would be. They're like only about as tall as like a human pupil would be, just vertical, narrow.
All right. Wonderful. Okay. Who enters next?
Probably Bobby. Bobby's going to want to be prompt and on time every time. So Bobby will walk in and just go directly to his seat, which is somewhere in the middle.
All right. Bobby, you go and take your seat. And Jonathan, who sits to your left, has already arrived and is sitting in his seat.
Oh, hi. How you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Any do anything last night?
No, just my homework, you know? There's just so much to do with all the classes, you know?
I mean, I guess, but dude, it's college. We got to get out there a little bit.
I mean, yeah, but we're like here to study and stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I guess, but we'll talk. I'll
Oh, okay.
take you to some parties or something. You have got to get out more.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
At that exact moment, Bobby, your phone pings. It is a text message from your mother.
Oh God. What does it say?
It simply says, "Hi, honey, I love you so much. I miss you. I hope you have a good day." It is her standard everyday text that she sends you right about this time because she knows this is your first class of the day.
Thanks, Mom.
All right. Bobby, would you please describe yourself?
Yeah, so Bobby is average height. He has tightly cropped blonde hair and a neat little part on the side. Bright, clear blue eyes, broad shoulders. He is way, way more attractive than he knows. And normally he tries to like hide himself inside himself. Just his posture is usually fairly withdrawn. Like he tries to hide himself in every single short-sleeved collared shirt he owns. Almost all of them are plaid. He would be made of plaid if he could be.
All right. Thank you, Bobby. All right. Students continue to enter the room. And at this point, the professor enters the room. This is someone you all knew before you even took her class. This is the headmistress of the university, Lila Allaire. She is a Fae woman. She's very tall. She likes to wear lots of like scarves and flowy garments. She is a bit out there, almost too talkative, and sometimes seems not all there. But all in all, she's lovely. She is a smart woman, and she clearly knows what she's talking about in this class, which, for our viewers, I will explain is a humanities class. Humanities as in teaching these young monsters to be able to live in the human world with their monstrosities and different supernatural afflictions. So that they can hide it away, because the mortal world, the human world, doesn't really know about monsters. Some people do, but not everyone. And by and large, it's still pretty hidden society. Everyone knows this professor as Dr. Lila. She's the headmistress, but she is very emphatic about she likes to be known as Dr. Lila because she did do all that work to earn that PhD, but she wants to be at your level. So Dr. Lila it is. She begins setting up for her next lecture, scrambling, writing things on the board, turning on her computer, getting whatever PowerPoint she has ready. Students continue to file in. The room is getting more crowded, filling out to its usual capacity. Who enters next?
Probably Mika. She doesn't want to be super late, but that excitement from the beginning of the semester has passed of, oh my gosh, I have to be super early always. And now she's like, I can squeeze in a couple minutes before we start. It's fine. And so she would probably flow in with the larger crowd of students and find her way to her seat, unpacking all her books and all of that.
Mika, following directly behind you is your younger brother, Xander, who is also in this class, scurrying like right up against you, trying to talk about whatever interest he has currently, just trying to get you to listen to him, and also trying to use you as protection, as he is a freshman at Ravenwood and is still getting his bearings.
Mm-hmm. And she would kind of, realizing this, just sort of keep an eye out and make sure that nobody's really... She's protective of her younger brother, but not very openly so, but she is kind of out of the corner of her eye, keeping an eye to make sure nobody's looking to pick on the little freshman that has entered with her, but is also not necessarily giving away her immediate relationship to Xander, so that the scrutiny doesn't immediately turn back on her. She had enough of that her freshman year, though she's not quite as afraid of all of the scary monsters in the class anymore.
All right. Xander will continue to talk to you as the two of you take your seats. He sits diagonally in front of you, so he'll be turning around, still talking at you more than talking with you. He's clearly struggled a little bit to make friends. You and your older sister, who is a senior at Ravenwood, are still the main people he tries to hang out with as much as he can. There's a safety net there. All right. Damon, when do you enter?
So just before class starts, I got about like a minute or two left. Damon walks in through the front door. He's got his earbuds in, just sort of in his own little world, and walks like almost like characteristically geometrically like straight to his seat from the door, and completely soundlessly, like his feet don't make a sound, and he sits down and sort of just like vibing with his music, just being in his own space, getting his desk ready for class.
All right. Mika, I forgot to ask you to do this. Would you please describe what you look like?
Yes. So, Mika is your typical bookish type of college kid. Shoulder length, curly black hair that she currently has in that like top knot kind of like lazy hairstyle. Small black glasses pushed up on her nose as she's sorting through all of her books and notebooks. And she would definitely be embracing the fall with the cozy, like, oversized sweater and jeans as she sort of makes herself comfortable in her seat, passing Xander the pencil that he forgot to bring for his own notes, as she doesn't even have to ask as she sees him sort of rifling through his backpack.
Right. All right. Damon, please describe what you look like.
So Damon definitely prefers like darker colors, like blacks, grays. The lightest he goes is like a charcoal sort of thing. Everything he has is black jeans, black shoes, all that stuff. So very, very a sort of dark atmosphere around Damon. And but yeah, his skin is almost the exact opposite. It's pale to a fault. And he wears glasses that are just a little too big for his eyes, and he has to sort of constantly adjust them. And his hair falls messily sort of over the front, like left part of his face.
Damon, as you sit down, Marcia Redford, who sits directly beside you to the right, kind of looks at you. You guys have been seatmates, so to speak, for several months now, and she gives you a nod.
Sort of, give a shy smile and a little curt wave back.
She'll lean over and just, what are you listening to?
It's one of my favorite bands. I discovered them last year. They're called Halloween.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're not too popular. They're sort of make their own sounds, but I like it.
I could see that for you. And as the conversation continues, she just kind of drops off, as she has a tendency to do.
And I just slowly, put the earbud back in, as I'm used to doing.
Once the last student enters the room, Dr. Lila turns around and goes, "Good morning, students. How are we all doing?" Good, I hope, as she's used to not receiving a response from any of you, but she's still holding on hope that one of you will answer her. Well, I suppose we should get started. She clicks on her projection to have a PowerPoint that shows up. You just finish up your last unit. For some clarification, the way this class is done is it's broken into each supernatural being, essentially, and how it is best for them to live out in the human world, how to identify them if you are one, if you're looking for one, and how to keep themselves safe. Also, human history and legends on those supernatural beings. So the projector clicks on, and it says werewolves in big letters. And she begins her spiel, starting with different legends of werewolves and such. She definitely pays a lot of attention to Bobby and the other werewolf in the class, which is a girl named Eloise. When she asks the class question, she would definitely be looking at the two of you, as she would know that you are the werewolves in the class. Bobby, what do you do when she asks you questions straight out?
Oh, I think he's willing to answer. I mean, he's generally pretty withdrawn, but when he knows something, he's eager to answer.
Eloise is having trouble. She is a shy girl, very nervous, stuttering a lot. So a lot of her questions end up getting answered by you anyway, as Dr. Lila would shoot them over to you in order to get an answer. Later on in the class, she's lecturing most of the class, and then, as the class comes to a close, she says, and of course, as with all of our units, we will be having a project, but this time your project won't be on your own. It's going to be a group project about werewolves, the history, the legends of werewolves. I want to make sure you're all paying attention, because I have seen the test scores, and some of you, I know this is a general education class. You have to be here. You might not think it's important, but trust me, believe me, it is very, very important. This information could very well save your life. She continues rambling on, and she will then go to the board and write down the groups of people that have been assigned to work together. It'll be in groups of 5 people. So it'll be 5 groups of 5 for a class size of about 25 students. Bobby, Damon, Amity, Mika, you are all in a group together, along with Mika's younger brother, Xander, a fellow freshman to Bobby. As class, there's about 20 minutes left of class, and she ends up saying, well, that's the end of the lecture for today. I'll let you go early, but I behoove you. I think you should get together with your groups as soon as possible, because it will be a group presentation and your grade relies on each other. So just take it seriously, okay? Okay, have a nice day. And she'll close out and look around to see if anyone following her advice, coming up with questions, things like that. But in general, she leaves you all alone. What do you want to do?
Yeah, Bobby will probably make a beeline for Mika. Well,
Okay.
Hi there. You want to get together with everyone else and start doing some research?
Hi. Yeah. So when do you have your next classes? We'll have to coordinate schedules, of course, but
Oh yeah, of course.
Did you want to do that now?
Sure. I mean, better sooner than later, yeah? Oh, what? Oh, you over there. Hey, and he'll point over to our ghost friend. You want to come over here and play on? What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Damon. Damon's my name.
Damon. Okay. Come over here. What's your schedule look like?
I've got another class after this, but I should be free after 3 o'clock.
Okay. That should work for me. You, Mika?
Yeah, I've got another class after this, but my day ends around 2, so I'm good at 3.
Okay.
Okay.
And
what are your names again?
Sorry. Yeah. I'm Bobby.
Bobby
Mika.
and Mika. Nice to meet you guys.
And Mika will lean over as Xander is walking by, going to like sneak out, grab his sleeve. Just very. Get over here. And this is my little brother Xander. Xander, what's your schedule like for today?
I have class.
When are you done with class?
Why?
Because we need to get together and work on a group project.
I'm done at like 3:30, 4-ish. It depends. Sometimes the professor lets us out early.
Okay. So that pushes us back to 3:30, the earliest meeting time. And she'll look around for the last
Amity?
member of the group.
Amity, where are you?
We'll have moved. It could just be like perched on one of the desks. It's like taking in everything. And will not call attention to herself even as you're looking around. But she's on a desk, so it's not too hard to find her.
Oh, hey, get over here.
She would have moved up, so she would have been closer than you would have liked, potentially.
Oh, shit. Hey, when are you free?
Oh, anytime is splendid for me.
That's really just not an answer.
Just wide-eyed stares you down.
After a moment of silence, Mika will go, so 3:30?
Yeah, that sounds about right now, doesn't it?
It sounds good to me.
Okay, 3:30 then. Where do you want to meet? Damon?
We could meet back at my dorm. I'm not expecting my dorm mates back until later. There's something going on tonight.
Okay. Well, that works for me.
That's fine by me.
Xander just nodding emphatically.
Okay. How about you, Amity? You fine with that?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right there. Nice.
Which dorm are you in?
I'm in the Riverside dorm.
Cool.
Okay. Swell.
Yeah, it's third floor, room number 16. You can't miss it.
Okay, I'll write that down because I'm just gonna forget. Okay.
Perfect. Mika will pull out her planner that has her extensive schedule in it and pencil it in. All right, then I guess we'll see each other at 3:30.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
thanks, guys.
See y'all
Yeah.
then.
As you all go to leave, Bobby, as you go to leave,
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan has stuck around. He's not talking to anyone, but he kind of saddles up to you as you walk out of the room.
Oh,
And
hi
he's just
there.
like, hey, you free tomorrow night?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I want to take you to a party.
Oh. Okay. Where?
Some like I think the vampires are putting it on. I don't know.
Okay. Sure. Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
it'll be a good time, and hey, I'll be there with you.
Oh,
You got
God.
nothing to worry about.
Okay. Sure.
All right. And he'll kind of like shoulder bump you as he walks away.
Okay. Oh shit.
Um,
Okay.
All right. Is there anything that any of you would like to do, class you would like to attend, essentially, before we get to meeting at 3:30?
No, not for me. I'm just gonna panic in the interim.
Poor Bobby.
I think in between classes, Mika would flip open her notebook, check and see if there are any new notes in it.
Currently, there is nothing.
Okay. She would close it up, tie it back with the little ribbon that's on the outside, and then
All
make
right.
her way.
All right. 3:30 rolls around. You all find your way to Damon's dorm. It's not really hard. Most things are labeled, and all underclassmen usually live in the same few dorms. Usually, there's like underclassmen dorms, the upperclassmen dorms, and then if you join what the equivalent of Greek life would be, if you join with a group of your fellow monstrosity, you can move into what would be the equivalent of a fraternity or sorority house with them on campus. It's definitely a party row. This will be where the party that Jonathan has invited Bobby to will happen the next day. So pretty easy to find your way, a little harder to find the room just because these dorms are spacious, they're big. Think castle-like, very gothic, big, open, high ceilings, just so much space. But finally, you all make your way to Damon's dorm.
Damon is sitting alone in the common area when he hears the knock at the door. And
Who arrives first?
It might again be Amity. But if anybody wants to jump in for a specific reason.
Two of you could arrive at the same time as well, but I will leave that up to your discretion.
Amity will just wide-eyed stare Damon down as they come in, and they're going to look for the highest place, whether that be like a shelf or a fridge, and the highest place that they can climb onto, and then they're going to try to make a perch there.
in the common area, there is a sofa, there is a coffee table, and there is a bookshelf, and that is it. There are like no decorations on the walls. The place is like eerily blank.
Bookshelf is probably a little too precarious. So they'll go for the back of the sofa, but the back part.
Gotcha. Damon is freaked out, just like, okay.
All right.
Very drab in here. He's just examining everything. Bird-like.
I quite like it like this. It's not as much happening. It's pretty quiet. It's a nice sort of zen space.
Quiet. Is quiet something you like?
Yeah. I find it easier to think.
It's
yeah. Do you like the quiet?
No. I do not.
Okay. And Damon reaches for his earbuds and hands his earbuds to Amity.
Yeah, she'll grab that. Well, one second. She'll reach for it. They'll reach for it, and then pause and narrow her eyes at you, and ask, "What for?"
Just so it's not so quiet for you.
And what do you get?
And Damon kind of freezes. No one's ever asked me that before. I don't know. I guess I'm
No deal.
your host.
She refuses the earbud and very cat-like now seems to be done with the conversation.
Okay. Damon takes the earbud back and begins to retrieve some study materials.
Maybe just enough for the pause to get a little awkward. That's when Bobby walks in.
Hi,
Oh, hi guys.
Welcome to my room.
How's it going?
So far so good. And I give like a sort of pointed, look over at Amity perched on the couch.
Ah, fun. Okay, so do we know if Mika's on the way?
And as you say that, Mika would be arriving, dragging Xander in, as he seems a little hesitant
Okay, good.
to join everyone.
So I guess
And Xander is complaining at his older sister in a very clearly sibling way. I'm just like, why do you have to keep pulling on me?
Oh,
I can
gosh.
walk.
You're the one who keeps hiding. Come on, just come in and say hello. It's not that hard.
He will walk to in front of everyone, look at everyone and go, hello, and then glare at Mika.
Mika
Okay.
will roll her eyes, and you see them for a moment. She has sort of like hazelish eyes, but they flash a bit more orange as she rolls them. As she gets a little irritated with her younger brother. And looks at everyone. We're not too late, are we?
No, I just got here and we haven't started yet. So I guess let's talk about werewolves.
I guess.
Sure. And Damon's carrying a good number of textbooks that pertain to class material that we've covered.
Oh gosh, good. Okay. Where do we get started?
That's a good question. I was honestly going to ask you, since obviously you're the expert here.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I know that. A personal experience, but data is not the plural of anecdotes, so I'm not the only source here. Do we want to like divide and conquer, and like someone can like write about history, another person can do like weaknesses, and I can write about like the personal experience. I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
That sounds like a pretty good scaffolding to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
How you doing over
I
there, Amity?
definitely don't want to talk about the personal experience.
Well, okay. You go there, kid. Yeah. Why am I calling you kid? God, we're the same age.
Yeah, we are.
Huh. Okay. How you doing over there, Amity? What do you want to do?
Amity is a little pensive and slightly confused. This might be like her first group project. It's depending on like what the class has been before. So they'll I think that, or she'll say they'll say getting too far into my head about it. So they'll just be like confused and say, what are the I can't think of a word that she would actually say, but it's like the fine print. She wouldn't say that word, but
The terms?
Terms. Thank you. Says, what are the
The
terms
rules?
of this deal?
Okay. So like the rules around being a werewolf and how it works?
No. This, and she gestures at everyone. We're all doing our part. Yes.
Oh, yeah, we're sharing the work that was assigned to us. Didn't you pay attention in class?
Equal shares. Yes.
Theoretically, yeah. Yeah. Fair shares anyways.
Thinks about it. Very well. Deal struck. He says, what do we need to do?
write a paper together, I think.
Excellent. My penmanship is quite remarkable. But
Oh, well, I think we're gonna type it like on a computer, but like it's sort of a.
I'm regretting this deal already.
Damon, you want to help here? You got this?
Damon has, like, during the course of this conversation, kind of like backed up, and then when Bobby turns to address him, he phases through the wall into the kitchen to retrieve snacks.
Okay, fine.
Amity's
So
head
yeah,
goes a little too far sideways.
all right, you can handwrite your part if you want to. That's fine. Just like a fair share of the work, okay? But like, which part of the work do you want to do?
I don't actually know what part would be. We talked about history and weaknesses, and
don't know,
you
we're
have like
writing
the
about
modern
werewolves.
day personal. So I don't know what the.
Well, we have to do like a presentation with it.
Oh,
Amity,
yeah.
you're pretty good at talking.
Yes.
Maybe you can do that.
Perfect. Yes, I will explain werewolves to everyone. I like this plan now.
Actually, that was a pretty good idea. Thanks.
I have them from time to time. And has Xander sitting there talking, he has a seashell that he's just kind of twiddling in his fingers back and forth. It would be well known that Xander is a witch, and he seems to always have some type of seashell or something of the sort on his person whenever any of you see him.
Is seashells specifically, or just anything relating to the ocean?
Really, anything related to the ocean. Seashells are just usually the easiest thing that he can, have on his person.
And as he
Okay.
sort of sits there twiddling the thing, Mika will roll her eyes again, just kind of like a look over at Bobby, not necessarily say anything, but give him one of those looks that's like, don't raise his ego too high.
Hey, if it works.
Well, I can handle myths and legends if no one else wants to take that one.
That works for me. And you, Damon? What were you gonna do?
Damon comes back with popcorn and chips and other assorted snacks. I can work on typical
He provides
origins,
us substance.
region of origin for werewolves.
Okay. And Xander?
What is there left to do? I'll just do that.
Sure. You do that.
I think we still have to cover weaknesses.
Yeah, weakness. That was just a thing I was throwing out there. I don't know. That does work for
I'll
him.
do weaknesses.
Weaknesses and like, because if you have like, yeah, okay, sure, do that. Yeah.
Bobby, what are a werewolf's weaknesses?
Gosh, there's Wolfsbane, and I think, I don't know, but no one ever actually told me about the silver, and I haven't ever actually touched it. Parents never actually told me about that one. Oh gosh, there were a couple though. Gosh, I should really read about these things.
Weaknesses?
They never sent me away to werewolf camp like they said they would. Gosh.
There's a werewolf camp? Oh, I guess that makes sense. And
I mean, there's this school. I mean, it just makes sense.
There's a knock on the dorm door.
Damon is clearly surprised, but gets
Amity,
up and
Amity will try to race you to the door.
so Damon and Amity diving for the door to see who can open it first.
All right. You both dive for the door at the same time, and will end up colliding a bit. Amity, you essentially go through Damon for just a second. But ultimately, you both open the door at the same time. The RA for your floor, Damon, is standing there. Clearly surprised to see other people in your room. Your RA's name is Alan Fletcher.
Alan Fletcher. Okay.
He is a fellow undead, a ghoul type. So he kind of looks out for you when he can and that sort of thing. So he's a little surprised, but kind of pleased that you seem to have some people over that aren't your dorm mates. But he's just like, sorry.
We have already divided the
something?
parts. There is no room for you.
We're working on a group project in here.
Right. You're a Fae, aren't you? Yeah, you guys and your deals. Anyway, I was just wondering if you guys have seen anything weird
Seen
going
anything
on lately.
like around the dorm?
Well, just all around campus, just anything really, weird's a relative term, I know, but, just something that seemed off.
Damon kind of turns around to regard the group to see if anybody has anything to say.
I think you're gonna have to be a little more specific.
Yeah,
Maybe
define
small
weird.
Monsters.
Look, there just seems to be someone who's missing. We don't know where he went. His
Who?
girlfriend's freaking out.
Oh, never mind.
So they told us to just, I don't know, go around, see if anybody has seen anything weird, like weirder than usual, and if you do see something, say something. Come get me, or maybe not me, maybe someone else, but me, or an RA, and let us know.
And
What good
who
does
should
saying
we be-
something do?
I'm sorry?
Board down. Amity will leave the door. We go back to the couch.
And Mika will look over at the RA. And what does the person that we're supposed to be looking out for look like, so that we know who we're supposed to be looking for?
Well, it's not just looking for him. I don't know. Okay, it's this kid named Carter. He's a junior, he's dating a sophomore. I don't know. I don't really know him. He doesn't live in my dorm. Not my responsibility, but he's clearly struggling, clearly does not want to be in this position. He's like, average height, average build. I think he's a vampire. He might be something else. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell. He's got like sandy hair. It's always in his face.
Damon brushes the hair out of his eyes.
Brown eyes and
So
pretty
he's
tan, darker
a medium
skin.
guy with medium build, with medium hair and brown eyes?
So we're looking for the most average guy on campus. Got it.
Look, if you ask me, he probably didn't know how to break up with his girlfriend and just skip town. But nonetheless, she is convinced that he was there one second and he wasn't there the next. So now we just gotta be on the lookout, that's all.
Like, he just didn't turn invisible?
He wasn't
Man, I don't know.
Like, I know 3 guys who did that yesterday.
he can't turn invisible, if I'm understanding correctly.
Okay.
It's not really part of his gig, and again, his girlfriend is like, he was there 1 minute and he wasn't there the next, and like nowhere to be seen.
Huh. Well, if he's gone, I hope they find him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll turn up, but we got to take precautions.
Okay.
We'll definitely keep our ears to the ground.
All right, just let me know if you hear anything, or see anything, or hear from Carter, if any of you know him.
I don't. I don't.
All right. Well, sorry to interrupt. If you see something, say something.
Something.
Will do. Thanks for letting us know.
And I'll just kind of
Have a nice
tip
day
his,
now.
you too, tip his non-existent hat and walk over to the next dorm to give the same spiel to whoever's living in that dorm.
He was like definitely high, right?
I wouldn't know anything about that, but that definitely was strange news to receive.
Yeah.
Do people not go missing very often here?
No, not normally.
People don't usually just like disappear. That's so weird.
I've definitely never heard of it happening, but should probably ask
My mother
sister.
disappeared right after I was born.
Like went invisible or like just up and gone?
Maybe both.
Oh,
I never
okay.
thought about it.
But that's sort of the Fae realm, right? Like, or is that here?
Emily will just stare you down. Not answer.
Oh, okay.
It's not normal for people to just disappear.
Right. Well, that's the point. Yeah.
Here, in even in a monster world, right, Mika?
I mean, I'm not exactly the right person to ask about monsters, but
You've been a part of our family long enough. You know.
yeah, but that doesn't make me a monster. But
No, but you know that this is clearly an argument y'all have had hundreds of times. But you know what the monster world is like. You've lived with us long enough. You get it. You know.
yes, I get it. Okay. Yeah, no, they don't really disappear that often. But if he's a junior, my sister would probably know a bit more. She's a senior, so I can always ask her when we're done here.
Yeah, let's get whatever work we can get done tonight, and then we can perhaps have a chat with your sister later.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna get cracking on these regions of origin, and I will. Bobby, if I have any questions, can I ask you?
Oh, yeah. Of course. I mean, it's not private information. What it's like being a werewolf. Other people have been werewolves.
Thanks for being open about it. And
I'll
Dana
try.
puts his earbuds in and kind of gets down into his books.
Mika, a few minutes go by, probably, enough time for you to start working. Xander's probably beside you, writing some notes, kind of actually making notes on what he should probably go and research, maybe making lists of werewolves that he knows that he can go and ask about the weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when there's kind of some vibration from your notebook.
She will, as she's flipping a page in her book, reading one of the many myths and legends that she plans on touching on regarding werewolves, she will very discreetly lean down and pick up the leather-bound notebook and sort of plop it inside of the book that she is reading and making notes on to make it seem like she's still working as she unties the bow and opens up the notebook.
So what opens up is, what shows up on the pages is a fairy tale. You would know that this means that your master wants to see you, wants to have an actual conversation, not through the notebook.
Okay. She would flip the page to see if there's a location that he's illustrated on one of the pages.
Illustrated is a place, a cottage-looking place, but clearly indicated to look. It's still, in the realms of a fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
He's thematic, to say the least. But it, indicates your dormitory, your dorm that you share with your sister.
She will, on the following blank page, and this is typical of when he requests meetings of that sort, her response is usually to draw, and she will draw a clock with a time just to be safe. She'll put it a couple hours from now. Just to leave room for them to finish up here, as she can kind of sense that everyone's sort of either near the tail end of what work they're gonna get done tonight, or winding down on their work. And she wants to leave that room for that conversation with Trish before she sort of leans into this meeting that he's requested. But once she's finished doodling the clock, she will go back to her work, unless she sees any further response from him.
All right. I'm gonna have you roll for that.
Okay, what am I rolling?
You're gonna roll Gaze into the Abyss, because you are communicating with your dark power, which is with dark.
Yes. Hang on, I'm trying to find where I wrote my stats down. Because I have them here. Yes, so I get a +1 to dark. Oof! That's a 4!
The first roll.
First roll of the campaign. That's a 1 and a 2 on the die, and a +1 from dark. That's
all right.
Starting off strong, guys.
So, for those of you who are new to Monsterhearts, the mechanic is there's 2d6, and that's all the dice that you use. And every player, every skin has a list of stats, which are hot, cold, volatile, and dark. They get +2s, -1s, +1s to these stats, and they use them for their rolls. There are essentially 3 different categories that you can roll. You can succeed, which means a 10 and above, I think. Above a 9. 10 and above, which means you just succeed at your task. A 7 to 9 is a success with consequences, meaning you succeed, but there's also a consequence. Maybe you didn't come across as cool as you wanted to. Maybe you leave something behind. Maybe you hurt someone more than you meant to. and any lower than a 7 is just a straight out fail. So, therefore, Mika has just failed her gaze into the abyss roll. The notebook will start vibrating more violently. Also, before I forget, you gain experience. The players gain experience every time they fail, so make sure to mark the experience, because then you can not level up, but gain new things or make a I'm blanking on the word of what it is. You get an advancement once you get, I think, 4 or 5 experience points. All right. So therefore, Mika, you have failed that roll. So the notebook starts vibrating more violently, and in big letters across your clock show up in like jagged handwriting, now.
And with that, Mika is going to shut the notebook, tie it back up, place it back in her bag, and as she's kind of doing so, make it look like she's checking her phone, and just look at it and go, shit, I'm so sorry, guys. I forgot I had another study meeting. I'm gonna go ahead and take off now, but did we get a group chat going? Is that something that we want to do?
I'll just set up a text or something.
Fantastic. She looks to Xander. Give everyone my number, please. And then is going to...
Yeah, I got you.
Throw everything in her backpack, throw it over her shoulder, and just beeline out of the room and back for her dormitory.
All right. We will fade out on that scene as it comes to a close as Mika rushes off to meet her dark power. Mika, when you get to your dorm room, Trish is there. And a girl is sitting with her, kind of in her arms, sobbing. She is so upset. This is a girl you don't know, but Trish kind of knows people a little more than you do. She's a little more outgoing than you are. Still doesn't, put herself out there too much, not like your eldest sister did. But she's pretty friendly. And this is a younger girl. She's in your class, and she is just sobbing in your sister's arms. And Trish is going like, "Hey, it's okay. Just breathe. I'm sure he'll turn up."
And realizing a little bit of what this is probably about, she is going to, standing in the doorway, just give a subtle wave to catch her sister's attention and just be like, "Should I go?"
Trish will kind of look at the girl in her arms, which you can kind of guess to be Tori, the girl whose boyfriend is now missing. Back at you, back at her. She is not slowing down and just kind of nod. At this point, also, your notebook is violently shaking in your bag. He does not like to be ignored, and right now, that's what he feels you are doing.
And with that, she will, without wasting any time, duck out of the doorway and find... usually when the room is occupied and her power wants to speak with her, she will find the most private place that she can within the dorms still, which would be... Now, here's the question. Are they more like multiple little rooms with a common area and their own bathroom, or is it more of a shared bathroom situation amongst a floor? How are these dorms designed?
It'd be more like the first one, kind of suite style living with a few rooms, a common area, a common bathroom for like a group of people, and that's how it goes. But there are like common areas for each floor, like lounges that have, video games, instruments, parties are sometimes thrown there, depending on like if you have a chill RA or not, things like that. So you can definitely find a quiet place. There's also probably some like book corners that not as many people frequent. So if you explore, you can probably find a place that would be not as private as your own dorm room, but still fairly private.
She would definitely nestle into sort of one of the book or study corners, take out the notebook, and concentrate to sort of let him know, like, I'm here, I'm ready to talk to you.
All right. As you are used to, as you concentrate, images flood your mind.
Did you do the bullhorn again?
No.
Apparently.
There we go.
There we go.
Oop, now it's...
Uh-oh.
Hang on. Sorry.
There you go.
Success?
I
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened.
The Dark
God.
Power said, nope, not
The
today.
Dark Power. The Dark Power said no. We love tech complications.
Mhm.
All right. So, as you sit and concentrate, eyes closed, visions, flashes of fairy tales start in your mind. First they start out as, kind of the more Disney-esque fairy tales, then moving into more Brothers Grimm, the true fairy tales, and then just getting darker and darker and darker until a man appears in front of you. He is shrouded in shadows, but is still like impeccably well dressed. You have never seen his face. It's always shrouded in shadow. You've only ever caught the glimpse of a smirk, the gleam of an eye, that sort of thing. Always dressed in dark colors, but they seem to resemble a suit. This is Master Grimm, as you have come to know him.
And as he appears before her, the last of the fairy tale visions fading, she would give a customary bow and look up at him. Sorry to keep you waiting, Master Grimm. The room I planned to use was occupied.
You know I don't like to be kept waiting.
I understand. But I'm here now. What can I do for you?
Things are moving slowly. I need more people to know who I am, and I want you to make more progress on that. Get someone else.
Of course. I can definitely work on that some more. I've been looking for ways to advertise, but I did want to ask, where would you want to start? Do you have a preference? This campus is vast, and I know with the way I found you, I'm definitely a special case. Do you want more people who would know the fairy tales, or am I teaching the fairy tales?
It doesn't really matter. You can teach. I can clearly show them the way. Just as long as it's someone who will follow me, will worship me as you do,
Of course.
so that I can achieve my goals.
Of course, Master Grimm. I will start making headway on that immediately.
You better. Halloween approaches, and that's when the veil between the realms is the thinnest. That's where I will have the most power over you in the mortal realm. And in order to actually use that power, I need more people to believe in me.
Of course.
I'm tired of being hidden away. It is your job to secure more people.
Of course, Master Grimm. And I believe I have someone in mind.
Do tell.
There's a freshman I met in class. Very impressionable, it seems. He might be interested. He seems very bookish. And I have a group project with him, which will give me more excuses to speak to him regarding this matter.
I like the way you think. It's why I chose you, of course.
Thank you.
All right. But make progress. I will be checking in again soon, and know that I am not pleased. And if you continue to make no progress, and at this point he comes rushing towards you, gripping you with claws made out of shadow, but they feel very real in your mind's eye, digging into your shoulders as he lifts you up, there will be consequences. And he drops you and disappears.
And with that,
as he disappears, and before you come back to yourself, I would like you to make a roll to keep your cool.
okay. Wow. I picked the wrong dice tonight, apparently. What is... Keep your cool is cold, right?
Yes.
Well, that makes it worse. That's a 3.
All
that's
right.
Counting down.
2 experience.
Hi, experience is experience.
Apparently it is, yes. We're going to be advancing much faster than expected here, friends.
As he disappears, usually you're able to take a breath and come out of it. However, he's threatened you before, but never in this way. He's touched you before, but never so aggressively. Mm-hmm. And so you are trapped in your mind, so to speak, for several minutes. Just trapped in this sort of hellscape that soon then devolves back into the twisted, dark fairy tales that seem to be coming after you. And you are just stuck there until something grabs your shoulder. And you are jolted back to reality.
And with that...
Go ahead.
Okay, so it's Trish grabbing my shoulder. So at that point, Mika would, doing her best not to scream, but definitely like yelp as she flinches away from her sister's touch, just like eyes wide and wild from being chased down in her visions by all of these fairy tales that up until this point have sort of been comforts for her, a sign of assurance that she's no longer alone and uh, defenseless in this strange place. And she would just look at her sister, shoulders kind of drop as she realizes who it is, and just go, "You scared the shit out of me."
I could tell. Are you okay? What the hell's going on?
Um, just got lost in thought, reading too many weird fairy tales, and yeah. Werewolves are scarier than I thought. Group project. Anyway, what's up?
She gives you a stare, because she knows something's up, and she's been worried about you for a long time. So she just kind of stares at you. Just checking on you. Sorry I had to kick you out of the room. That girl, she's really upset.
No, yeah, that's about the kid who went missing, right?
Yeah, it's her boyfriend.
Oh, she's the girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard about that while I was doing another group project.
Word's already spreading.
The RAs are telling everyone to be on the lookout.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, I don't know. People don't usually just disappear in the way she's saying he disappeared, but I mean, come on. I've been here long enough that like things like this don't happen. He's probably, I don't know, fucking with her or something, pulling a prank. He's between you and me. The dude's kind of a douche.
Oh no. How much of a douche are we talking?
There's definitely worse, but there's definitely better.
Yikes. So, definitely the time for her to move on, but still, like, that sucks.
Yeah, I guess it's, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, I guess. Maybe she'll be better off for it.
Hopefully. How's she saying he disappeared?
They were walking back to his dorm. She opened the door, turned back around, and then he was just gone. Which, like, people don't disappear like that. Even here, like, I don't know. It's not like you can just, I've never heard of someone that can, like, teleport.
Me
I don't even have a spell that can do that.
And if anyone would know, you would.
Exactly. So I think that, I don't know, she's just probably not remembering because she's so upset. But it's honestly probably his shitty way of breaking up with her.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
And he's probably, I don't know, hiding out in town somewhere. Or, I don't know.
Or he's gonna show up with a new girlfriend and then things are gonna get awkward or... Ooh.
Right, exactly.
I definitely don't want to be here when that happens.
None of us do, but she might be using our room to crash. I'm friends with her older sister, and she needed a space. So, if she's crying and her sister isn't available, I might just step in, that's all. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I just wasn't expecting company when I came back, so
yeah, sorry about that. I'll try and give you a heads up next time, like send you a text or something.
That would be much appreciated. But yeah. So she's still in there?
No, I walked her back to her dorm. She lives with her sister too, actually. She's kind of like us. She'll offer you her hand to help you up from where you're sitting, and will kind of lead you back to your dorm room as the two of you continue to chit-chat.
Absolutely.
And we will once again fade out as Mika and her sister continue walking. We will fade out on that scene. So study group, I am assuming, has dispersed at this point. Does anybody have anything that they would like to do tonight?
While the study group is still going, can I ask Bobby a few questions?
Go for it.
Okay, so as the group is all studying and everything, Damon has sort of reached a point in his studies where he doesn't really seem to be getting any new information. He goes back through his notes, he organizes everything, and then he looks up at Bobby, and he takes his earbuds out. It's like, hey, Bobby, just could I ask you a few questions about being a werewolf?
Muted.
Muted, my guy.
Sorry. What's up? Yeah, what you want to know?
I wanted to know a little bit more about your experience of being a werewolf, and that where you come from. Where do you come from? Where's home for you?
Oh yeah, I'm from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other werewolves where you live?
I didn't really know any. I lived kind of in the middle of nowhere, in a little town called Eau Claire.
Oh, Claire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when did you know that you were a werewolf, or have you always known?
Oh, I was kind of turned when I was a kid.
Turned when you were a kid.
Yeah.
How did can I ask you how that works?
Oh, it was kind of a thing. There was an attack. I don't remember much, but after that, I started turning into a werewolf.
Oh, so you got like, the claws and the fur
Oh
and
yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was a whole thing, don't you know? Yeah.
Wow. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm interested to know a little bit more about where where elves, werewolves could be. I mean, most of what I'm learning in the textbook is with
Oh
history,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's mostly
I,
talking about
I
Europe, but
yeah. I suppose I was pretty lucky. I was sort of stuck in the woods, so I was able to kind of run around and didn't really have to worry about hiding it too much. But yeah, we kept it kind of quiet.
gotcha.
Yeah, my parents are sort of normal, so I just kind of kept it down. Yeah.
Oh, so it came from the attack.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't know any other werewolves until I came to college. Yeah.
Okay. That's really good. And then Damon sort of gets back into his book and starts writing down a few more notes. And he in the middle of it he stops. Oh, thank you, thanks.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah.
I'll let you get back to it. And he
Sure.
puts his earbuds back in and keeps writing. But yeah.
All right.
Late at night, Amity will find the tallest granulation of the school, of the university, and camp out there for a little while. And just kind of, if there's like a good vantage point, very Batman-esque, over like where most people would travel between buildings, that's where she would, people watching. Though there's probably not a whole lot of people at night. So
Oh. What's the phase of the moon?
I'm going to let you decide that. What is the
Okay.
phase of the moon, Bobby?
Okay, so it's not full yet, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the ticking clock on a little past a waxing quarter. Let's say it's 9 days into the cycle.
All right. So, Bobby, you're probably starting to feel the effects of
Okay.
the coming of the full moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think after study group, I might go out to the lake. Now that all the homework is done. And maybe just chill in the moonlight a bit before going back to my dorm.
Okay. All right. So 9 days into the cycle. All right. So it's not affecting you too much yet,
Mhm.
but it's getting there. It's starting. And you're pretty used to it at this point. You know what's coming.
Yeah, I'm just feeling a little bit yummier at night.
Amity,
Yeah.
as a result, you would probably see Bobby kind of cross. I picture there's a clock tower on campus, probably on top of a main archway, like tunnel type thing that people use to get to dorms from, like, you know, where the dorms are to where the classes are, and it kind of overlooks all of campus, so you can see from pretty much any vantage point. So, Amity, you would probably see Bobby walking to the lake after the study group has dispersed and you are perching up there. Yeah.
Emily would mostly just be in scouting mode, probably muttering something to herself nonstop. Something. Just seeing everything and saying something.
Right. All right. So you don't really see much. Students are walking around, mainly the more nocturnal students. Vampires can be out in the sun, but, you know, they still are more on the nocturnal side. And there's definitely creatures that prefer the night. So you'd see them clustering in groups and that sort of thing. All right, if that concludes anything anybody wants to do for this first day, we will close out on day 1. The camera fading out as you all end up eventually making your way back to your dorms and assuming some sort of rest, in whatever form that takes for you, and whatever monstrosity you have. Will fade in on the sunrise of the next day. You all receive a text from Xander just saying, "When are we meeting again?" Very early in the morning. Mika, you would know this is kind of uncharacteristically early for Xander when he doesn't have a class, and you would know that that day he doesn't really have an early morning class.
Does he text all of us individually, or have we already made the group chat?
I'm assuming y'all made the group chat before you dispersed. Yeah. Figured we'll just make that a given, you know?
Mm-hmm. And at that point, Mika will probably immediately be opening a separate text with Xander to just be like, "Why are you awake?" As she answers the group chat, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. "Whenever is good for everyone else. What's everyone's schedules look like? Question mark.
What day is it? It's like Wednesday or Thursday, or are we getting closer to the weekend?
We'll say yesterday was a Tuesday, so yes, today's a Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday.
So you probably have the class probably twice a week, probably let's say Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Okay.
Is when you have your Human-Ities class all together. And the project is due in about a week or so
Okay.
from when it was assigned.
I text back the group. I have chess club today at noon, but other than that, I am free. So anytime before noon or after 2 o'clock works for me.
This is probably a lab day for Bobby, for like micro or something. So he's probably done after 4 or 4:30, because those are usually like 3 to 4 hour blocks.
I think this is one of Mika's few. She's tried to schedule it so that she has little breaks in between the amount of classes that she has. So I think today would be sort of her free day as far as her classes go. She would be trying to avoid Monday, Wednesday classes and mainly having Tuesday, Thursdays.
Very fair.
So she would kind of say, so 4:30?
Sure, yeah, let's meet up before dinner. Check in with the work we've got.
Xander sends a thumbs up.
Inveni will respond like after enough time that you're like wanting to like specifically call them out. Like you get that urge, and then that's when they respond. With just all caps, splendid. Inveni does have classes and doesn't like skip out, but will definitely just go for what's more interesting. And this smaller group dynamic is more interesting at the moment, so. Whatever her class might be, she'll definitely just skip it.
All right.
Cool.
Mika, Xander ignores your text for a while. And you know he's ignoring it because he's responding in the group chat. Until finally he just sends back, "Don't worry about it."
And at that point, she is going to immediately worry about it. And
You will receive another text that says, "I made some friends."
at that, Mika will kind of freeze for a moment. Just be like, "Oh, who did you make friends with?"
Xander will respond, "Some upperclassmen. Don't worry about it."
There's a moment of hesitation. And she just texts, "Be careful. If they start bothering you, you know what to do."
He sends back the rolling eye emoji and then just, "I know."
And at that point, Mika will just send back a thumbs up and just exit her own room to go find Trish, because she, of course, has to keep her older sister updated on their younger brother's antics.
We will fade out on you telling Trish about these antics. and fade in on Damon. Whatever state you're in the morning, whether you sleep or not as a ghost, it will leave up to you. But you receive a call at a normal-ish hour for the most part. Not too early, but trying to get you before you have any classes. It's your sister, Emily.
So Damon is currently sort of getting more used to this idea of being able to fly, and so when he receives the call, he's in front of his window, cross-legged, and he's like levitating off the ground, just sort of, it's in the early morning, and the sun is coming through the window, but he's got the shades drawn, and he's just sort of floating in front of that, almost like practicing, sort of just getting used to the ability to fly. And then when the phone rings, he drops and hits the bed. And he, gets off the bed, and he goes and sees that it's sister, and picks up the phone. Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Emily, it's good to hear your voice again. I'm doing just fine. I'm making new friends and getting my classes done. How about you?
You're making friends. You never do that.
Crazy, right? Yeah.
Proud of you. So Ravenwood's still treating you good then? I did a good job at finding Ravenwood.
Yes, I think we found a good place where I can feel more at home in my own skin, as ironic as that is.
That's good.
How's Ma and Pa?
Them. They're
Have you-
mad at me again.
What about this time?
I may or may not have snuck out to go to a party with some girlfriends of mine.
Was Erin hosting?
No, actually. But she was
Okay.
there. She's always there.
My turn to be proud of you.
Well, I'm trying to distance myself from her a little bit.
Yeah.
I still don't know what your problem with her is. So I decided I'm gonna figure out who killed you. I need a project.
And Emily can't see it, but Damon is just sort of in his room. His eyes have become hollow. He's got this brooding look about him, as if he's attempting to process something that is just beyond him.
You still there, bro?
Yeah. I mean, I tried for a while, and I couldn't really think of anybody. But I mean, if you find any leads, give me a call. Let me know what you find.
Yeah, like I said, I need a project, so I'm
glad you
gonna
consider
try
my
and.
project.
I didn't mean it like that. So dramatic sometimes. Chill.
It's tough to talk about, Emily. I'm sorry I snapped, but
I know, and I get it. Like, I can't even imagine what it would be like to be dead. That must suck. And it's one of her rare moments of genuineness towards you. But I think it would help if you knew what happened. And if you knew what happened, maybe we could have figured out a way to, like, undo it. Or, I don't know, finally tell Ma and Pa.
yeah, I would. I'd really like that.
All right. Well, I just kind of wanted to let you know that I've decided I'm gonna do that. So I'll definitely be talking to you more because I need you to tell me everything you remember. Because I can't let this go too cold, even though it's been years. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll definitely figure it out. Thank you for taking up the mantle, I guess.
Yeah, of course. No one else is gonna do it. You weren't gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, nobody else knows, and I'd prefer to keep it that way.
Well, at least you get to be yourself and all your ghostly glory at someplace.
It's funny when you called, I was just I don't know if I ever told you this, but I can fly. I know, right?
I mean, I guess that makes sense. You're
Right?
a
I mean,
ghost.
it's
like,
yeah, it's part of being a ghost, I guess. Yeah.
I guess
um,
that, But you're figuring it out. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, let me know, what you find in your project, and be careful who you talk to, please.
I'll be fine. I know people. It'll be fine. Don't worry.
All right. I trust you, Emily.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Always good to hear from you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
And she will hang up the call.
And Damon looks at his phone for a while and puts it back on his desk and is just sort of staring at the bedside desk for a little while before picking up his head and heading back over to the kitchen to start making breakfast.
Right. We will fade out on that. Bobby, when does lab start for you?
I think it starts just after lunch at like 12:30.
All right. Unless anyone wants to do anything, Amity, if you would like to do anything, I think we'll just skip to that. All right. So, Bobby, you walk into lab, and Jonathan, who is a fellow biology major, shares this lab with you. He's never really sat directly beside you before, but he has like his bag in the seat so no one else takes it. And when he sees you walk in, he, for once, is there before you, beckons you over.
Hi. How's it going today?
Hey, it's going good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. What'd you move your seat for?
I just thought we could be lab partners today.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, I'm taking you to the
Sure.
party later, right?
Right. Yeah. Sure.
Plus, I've, never been friends with a werewolf before.
Well, first time for everything, I guess.
Yeah. I'm interested. I want to get to know you better.
Sure. And same, where are you from?
Cape Cod,
Oh,
it's a nice
what's that
place.
like?
It's fine, I guess.
Okay.
I'm far more interested in you.
Oh, okay. What do you want to know?
What are you willing to tell me?
I don't know, just ask a question, I guess.
And Jonathan will lean in pretty close. Closer than he really ever has before. He's never been this close to you. And he'll just, why don't you tell me what it's like to be a werewolf? What's it like when you turn? And he'll
Oh my
send you a smile. And I would like you to
I was gonna ask
roll.
to keep my cool,
Yes.
but you're gonna make me, so that's
Yes.
fine. Let me roll 2d6. I need to take dice out. I completely forgot to. Shoot, 1 second. That's 1d6.
It's okay.
Gosh. Okay. Let's see if this boy can keep his cool. Oh, my cool is like -2. Hold on. I gotta get over to the right tab. This is so fun. Okay, Cold is -1, so then I rolled an 11.
All right. So,
Well, yeah, the first time it always hurts, but you get used to it.
is it like a good type of pain?
Well, it depends on what you're into, I guess.
And what are you into?
Yeah, I just don't know. You might have to help me find out. I rolled an 11. I have to do it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I fully support it. I think I'm gonna make you roll again for turn someone on.
Oh, well, shit.
And I think you are definitely talking Jonathan up right now.
Yeah, Bobby doesn't know his own strengths. 8.
Right. Let's see. So 8 means success with consequences. So we have had the full gambit here of a fail, a success, and now a success with consequences. Woo. Sorry, reading to make sure I do the right thing. So I will let you choose how Jonathan reacts. He can either give you a string, give himself to you, promise something that he thinks you want, or gets embarrassed and acts awkward. And you'll just choose from that list, and then I will play him doing whatever I decide that'll look like.
Oh, God, the choices here. Give me those choices again.
He can give you a string. He can give himself to you. He can promise something that he thinks you want, or he can get embarrassed and act awkward.
I want him to promise me something, because we have lab to do. He can't give himself right now, but he can give himself later.
Yeah, that's very true. All right. So, Jonathan will be kind of clearly a little taken aback by how, strong you're coming on. He's never seen you like this. You know this? Maybe I can help you find out tonight at the party or after.
Well, we'll have to just wait and find out now, won't we?
Sounds like a date.
Okay. Sure.
And with that, Jonathan will stop berating you as much as the professor comes in and starts lab. But he's definitely flirting with you, sending you glances, trying to brush your hands together and stuff like that.
If this boy had a tail right now, it would be wagging.
Amazing. All right. Amity, what is your class schedule like for today? Where are you headed?
Probably doing a bunch of general class study things. That you like all the prerequisites you have to take. And I don't know any specific classes that would be in a humanities study. A lot of ethics and maybe some philosophy and stuff, which would be not to a Fae would be less like philosophy and more like talking about the weather. So you probably would get bored with philosophy in a different way than most humans. So just kind of sticking to her schedule until I imagine that maybe she has a class that ends at 4, but they leave early to search around for some objects that you would like to give to the group when they next meet as a gift.
All right.
Describe those when we get to that part.
Okay. As you're searching, Rhapsody flutters up to you in the way that she does with all of her happy cheeriness. And yeah, she flutters right up to you and she's like, "Hey, Amity, what you doing?"
Hello, Raspity. What are you doing? In the sort of quid pro quo of Fae being never really answering a question and asking your own.
I just saw you and thought I'd come over and see what you were doing. It looked interesting. What are you doing? Finding
Currently,
things?
I am picking through the trash.
Wow.
As she's going around through the common area trash cans, pulling out specific items.
Why?
She'll look up from her activity and look at Raspity and smile a little bit and say, "What will you give me for the information?"
That's not very fair.
Oh, deals are always fair.
You really aren't adjusting to the mortal world, are you? Everything has to be a deal. Don't you pay attention in class? This isn't the way humans operate.
That'll rattle Amity a little bit. She's thought she's been doing pretty well in that regard, so this kind of awkwardly continues about her task, looking specifically for Starbucks cups.
Rhapsody will be watching you closely. You two know each other well. You're both Fae. You know each other well. And as you find a Starbucks cup, she will reach out and snatch it before you.
Can I see what the name on it is?
No, the name is facing Rhapsody.
Then I will try to snatch it back.
And she will hold it back. I'll give it to you if you tell me why you're doing this.
Amity thinks for a moment, and says, "Deal is for my group, as part of my project for my Human-Ities class." Kind of through a bit of gritted teeth, he says that.
I'm in that class too, and I'm not bringing my group anything. Maybe I should. Maybe I can make them something.
Maybe you don't know humans as well as you think. Or mortals, I think she'd say.
I would like you to roll to shut someone down.
Is that a hold?
Yes.
Oh, 9 minus 1 for 8.
Success with condition. Oh. So, you're going to succeed, but you come across poorly. So, you will choose one from below. And Rhapsody will give you a condition in return. For those of you who don't know, in Monsterhearts, there's a mechanic called conditions, which are labels that NPCs or players can give to other NPCs or each other, and they function as just kind of another element in the game that these characters have to deal with. So they aren't necessarily true, but they are something that somebody thinks about that person. So, for example, somebody can give the condition of slut. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, except that now that person who has that label has to kind of just deal with the fact that some people think that they are a slut. Conditions can get resolved through talking through it with someone or facing it, and then the condition can end up going away. So, Amity. Choose one from below. They lose a string on you, which I don't think Rhapsody has any strings on you.
I was going to ask because I think I'll pick that I gain one on them.
Yes. So,
Since if they have no strings on me, I can gain one on them. I picked that up.
yes, you can gain one on them. You can give Rhapsody a condition or take one forward.
Yeah, gain a string.
Gain a string?
Yes, please. Write this down.
Okay. And Rhapsody, in return, is going to give you the condition. She's going to give you the condition duns.
Duns?
When
Do I get a cap?
I'm sure Rhapsody will make you one. So in response, Rhapsody is a little annoyed. And she will just, you really shouldn't be so rude to me all the time. I'm really just trying to help you. And she will offer the Starbucks cup to you.
Amity will take it, and then just kind of glare at her for a long time. I don't know if we want to do like an insight check or if that's essentially what Amity is trying to puzzle out.
Give me a gaze into the abyss.
Oof. 3, what is gaze? Is it dark?
Yes.
Okay, dark is decent, but 3 plus 1 is 4.
You don't really know what she's getting at, what she's playing at, if she's trying to embarrass you, if she's trying to hold something over you. Rhapsody she's very accustomed to Fae things and is a Fae, but she also seems to have adjusted to she's very much so trying to integrate into human society and the mortal realm. It's clear that this is where Rhapsody wants to be. So you don't entirely know what she's getting at in the offering of the Starbucks to you.
Well, that was part of the deal, right? I was more interested in, she said she was trying to be friendly.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, well, kind of the same thing.
Sure. I failed, but I just wanted to, just we're on the same page.
She'll still be holding out the cup to you.
Yeah, Amity will take it.
After you
And
do
read
that,
the name. What's the name?
name is Joanna.
Tough. And not back in the trash can. No one's explained global warming to Amity yet.
Rhapsody will watch you for a few more seconds before just, you should really be more friendly. when people are trying to be nice to you, and then she will flit off as she's apt to do.
Emily will just mutter if she's digging through the trash for coffee cups. What do you think I'm doing?
All right. So Xander will send another text that says, like, we never decided on a meeting place. I talked with Dr. Lila. The classroom's free. Let's meet there.
Damon sends a thumbs up emoji.
Miko will also text, sounds good.
All right.
Then, she will, finding in the messages of the group chat who's who, send a quick text to Bobby. And it's going to read something like, "Hey Bobby, it's Mika. So I had another question for you. I know I'm probably assuming since we haven't talked a ton, but you seem like the more bookish type. Do you like to read?"
Wow, you text in complete sentences. Yeah.
Okay. I've been talking to some people about starting a book club. Would you be interested in being my first member?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, let me know when you have some free time. And when you do, we can maybe exchange a book to start off. Until I get
Sure.
more members, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thumbs up emoji.
I'm sensing a theme here.
After lab, Jonathan will offer to walk you, Bobby, to wherever you're going next.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Come along. I have a study group. It's for that project we have. The group one on werewolves.
Oh, yeah. My group hasn't met up yet.
Oh, no? Oh, you guys had better get on that.
Yeah, I think we're set to meet tomorrow. I think it'll be fine. We have the
Oh,
other
okay.
werewolf in our group, so
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not super worried.
Oh,
No,
okay then.
I can get all my information from you, can't I?
Well, I mean, yeah, I can help if you need it, yeah.
I know you can. And he'll wink at you as you
I mean,
two walk. So all of you begin to arrive in the classroom. Xander is already there, which is a surprise to you, Mika, because he's usually not the first person anywhere.
Emily will kind of bulldoze over any beginning conversation and just say, "I have brought the prerequisite opening meeting drinks," and we'll start handing out coffee mugs or coffee cups that are clearly from the trash. And she'll hand Damon a empty Starbucks that says Daniel on it. Bobby will get one that says Billy. Mika will get one that says Mike. Zenner will get one that says Xavier. And then Amities will say Amy with 2 eyes. And then she will hold the cup upside down and put it to her lips occasionally.
Thanks.
That's thoughtful of you.
Bobby
imagine
will
that-
walk immediately over to the trash can and throw it out.
I imagine that one of them has like a really big lipstick stain on it. So maybe that's Bobby.
Yeah, Billy with an IE.
If I might ask, Amity, where did you get these?
Oh, people throw them everywhere. They're easy to find.
Amity.
Like, outside?
I think she'll turn to somebody and look to me because I believe I found that one inside.
Wonderful.
Okay there. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good job.
Xander will just mutter under his breath, "Fucking Fae."
Mika will consider trying to explain where the cups come from and think better of it and just place hers to the side, not wanting to throw it out in front of Amity.
All right. So, let's talk about the project, shall we?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like a good place to start. All right. So, Mika, have you found anything of interest, or how's your end coming along?
Oh, it's pretty interesting. I started in the standard places with like the Brothers Grimm and the Disney adaptations of werewolves and what they're like. I've got a couple pages written, but I want to see if there's anything more obscure out there in some of the other folklores that might be worth tying in with any variations, you know.
Gotcha. I've found a few stories in researching my region, so I think our sections of the paper might coalesce really well. And so if you do yours first and then mine follows up, and we can sort of structure it from there. I think
Yeah.
that might be a good way of going about it.
Yeah, and I wrote a bit about how it's important to isolate yourself around the full moon at night to make sure that you don't kind of wreak havoc around your neighbors and things, and you really want to make sure that you're kind of locked up. That way you just don't get out, cause craziness. Also, it's important to make sure that you're soundproofed. That's a big one. You make a lot of noise on the full moon when you're kind of not in as much control as you'd like to be. That's a tricky bit. Yeah. Anyways, I tried to make sure that I gave kind of a perspective on how you navigate the troubles of being sort of an uncontrollable monster once a month in a modern, crazy world. Yeah.
As you
Wonderful.
all continue to talk about the project, what you guys have found, what you guys still need to find, sharing all of this information with Amity so that they can at least vaguely be aware of that they need to talk in front of the class about these things.
Amities will take notes. They won't make any sense though to anybody else.
A voice is heard from outside the classroom. Frantic. It takes you all a second, but it sounds like Dr. Lila. She is talking on the phone to someone, and she seems to have stopped in front of the classroom that is normally empty at this time. It's the body. They found a body. Okay, we just need to keep this quiet. We need to... Until we can find out more, we don't need to scare the students. But a disappearance and now a body.
Damon is gonna ghost sort of levitate over towards the door to listen intently.
You'll continue to hear her saying, kind of giving directions about when to wrap, where to take the body, what to do, and very emphatically, to not tell anyone until we know more. I will be there soon to check it out. She seems to end the call, and you hear the click of her heels walking away from the classroom. And that's where we will end for tonight.
Oh, man!
Ah, that cliffhanger, jerk.
How dare!
I tried.
The sign of a good MC is when they end the session when all the players are on the edge of their seat.
That is an MCM in my own heart. You gotta leave the cliffhanger, and that was beautiful. I love it.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for those of you that have stuck around with us this whole time, or even just hopped in. It really means a lot to me that you guys showed up to watch this. It's my first ever time running a game, and I'm really excited to share this story with y'all. Thank you so much to my players. So thank you to everyone. We will move into sort of the outro now. I am Abby Marie Carter. I have been your MC, your mistress of ceremonies, and will continue to be that every other Thursday right here to run Ravenwood. You can find me on Instagram at Abby_Marie_Carter. If you want to see more of what I do, I am on the Facet every single Monday on this channel. As a player, I play Ahira, who is a doll come to life who also has a giant needle spear that she sometimes stabs people with, and she's very friendly and has a nice little southern accent. So I highly recommend going to check out the Facet. I play with some wonderful people, and Winter is the GM there. If you want to see more of what I have done in the past, I have been on a couple Tabletop Tuesdays. And I was also in a Monsterhearts campaign over on Heroes and Hooligans called Graffitied Hearts that Winter ran. I think the VODs should be still up. You can go to YouTube and search Graffitied Hearts and you should find them. Yes, so let's continue on. Alex, why don't you start with signing out?
Sure. Alex signing off to join as Damon next time to find out a little bit more about what's going on at Ravenwood. I'm not on social media, sorry to say, but yeah, I'm looking forward to. What's that?
You're probably better off. But continue.
I like to tell myself that. But yeah, looking forward to meeting up with you all every other Thursday for some more adventures.
All right. Emma?
Yes, I'm Emma Kokar. As I said before, I am a TTRPG content creator and aspiring voice actress. You can find me GMing Dungeons & Dragons on my longtime podcast, Chronicles of Kriath, which you can find wherever you listen to podcasts. Or you can find me running the Tabletop Tailspinners Network, which is a new podcast network that I have started that I am currently building up some new exciting shows for. We're looking to release some more D&D stuff soon, as well as a venture into 10 Candles, and we have some other series in the works right now that are very exciting and may involve some other people from this lovely group of individuals. So keep your eye out for any content there that might be coming out soon. You can use our Linktree to find all of our socials, and we are Linktree at Linktree/Tabletop Tailspinners, all one word.
All right. Thank you so much, Emma. Juicy?
Hi, I'm Juicy Garland, a Boston area drag queen and super nerd. You can find me here, of course, but you can also find me on the Cybernation Uncensored Twitch channel occasionally. The Cyberpunk Red game that I had been on is currently on a temporary hiatus, and it will be back hopefully soon. Other than that, pardon me, my allergies are miserable right now. But I also will be that's not helping, I'll tell you that much. I'm in the Northeast. In addition to that, I am also performing in a live, in-person actual play on July 8th with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. We'll be playing D&D 5e. You can also find me on Twitter at JuicyGarland, one word, and on Instagram at juicy.garland.
Thank you so much, Juicy. And last but certainly not least, Stouffer.
I'm Christopher, go by Stouffer most places. I don't do social media either, but I am in Mr. Swinter's Discord, so I'm there for contacting purposes, I guess. But
All right. Thank you so much. I hope that all of you come back and join us the next time we play, which should be in 2 weeks, if I'm getting that correctly.
I think we were going to try and get on our schedule.
Actually, technically, we're going to try, if it works out, to do next week and then starting the every other week. So we have our normal schedule. So we will be announcing for sure when that's happening, when I'm able to fully schedule with my players and make sure everyone's good to go or potentially not. But yeah, please join us to find out, help unravel this mystery of people disappearing and now dead bodies showing up. And thank you so much to Winter for running.
Yes, thank you, Winter.
For the wonderful intro video, for this wonderful layout.
Oh, that's so cool.
Kind of everything. And also being my go-to when I have any questions or need some help on the fly. It really helps the first time MC to have someone who, especially someone who is as talented as Winter, to just be able to call upon if I need help. So thank you very, very much. If that's everything, I will go ahead and wish you all a very, very lovely night. Thank you so, so much for joining us. Have a great night.
Night, everybody.